like the sun, you can feel the heat. Whoa. When the pressures rise, building up inside, trying to break it down, but you come back stronger, ready to fight. Can't wait any longer. It's our time. It's like a force of nature. No stopping now. It's the start to make it. Stronger than that. It's like a force of nature. No stopping now. It's the start to make it. Stronger than that. Stronger than that.
Ethan Burrell, big spin by the 50-60s. It won't be enough. Chris Record on the back of Johnny Johnson, who covered the spot. Johnny, it's going to Victor Lane at the corner, scores the win. The home place beer completely beat by
It's like a force of nature. No stopping now. It's the start to make it. Stronger than that. It's like a force of nature. No stopping now. It's the start to make it. Stronger than that. Stronger than that.
Welcome, race fans, to Japan. Yes, round two, race two of round one here for the JoinAPS.com Cup Series takes place in beautiful Japan here, where we are going to be describing quite an exciting race for you guys tonight. This is the brand spanking new for the Cup Series here, Suzuka Grand Prix. Take a look at this 1.38 mile length racetrack, and it is unique in the fact that we will be turning both left and right, perhaps the fastest road course on the schedule for the Elite Series. Laps wind down about 52 seconds. That was the pole time set by David Tucker. Taking a look at the grid and starting order on your screen, David Tucker, R.C. Anderson, these two are always a factor when it comes to road course racing. No surprise up there. Then you have Chad's rounding out row number two, Chad Frankenfield and Chad Thornquist. Chad Frankenfield trying to overcome what was a little bit of controversy last week. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Mr. Consistency, Tyler Fody, and then Tate Lytle, last week's winner in row three. You see Vincent Isabella and Santarian, the rookie, lining up in row four, and then Nick Massey and Matthew Weeks going to round out your top 10. Just outside of that, Andrew Rucker and Harrison Talon, a pretty good qualifying effort there. These guys qualifying just outside of the top 10 here. I'll give you a chance to look at that through the screen as I prepare some of my notes here, because we are actually ready to go racing. David Tucker going to be the control car here. This is a very unique racetrack here, and we are excited for you guys at home as the green flag is out. Race number two of round one underway for the Elite Racing Series. Already, David Tucker with a big motion to go to the outside and clear. Chad Thornquist, I believe R.C. Anderson did not get going at all. In fact, he has dropped back. I actually don't even see him gridded on the screen, so it might have been a problem right there for our outside pole sitter. Meanwhile, the battle of the Chads have taken it to second and third. Tyler Fody and Tate Lytle going to round out your top five as they make it through the heavy right-hander of turn 1 and 2. Before they get to the SS, trouble already in the back of the pack. The 60 car gets spun out. Don't know if we are going to see a yellow for that, but take a look at this. The 05 and the 60 as they get through the S's. That's Joey Chapman there. Contact with the 05. That sends him around into the gravel barrier, and he'll come to a stop. Lap 1 already in the books. We will have a fun flag here on lap 15, but man, things really taking place early in this one. As we take a look, I think the 15 of Chad Frankenfield is now in actually first place. What happened to David Tucker through all that? He was the leader. Tooker now not even shown on screen there, and he's one of our championship contenders. Man, we can barely keep up with the action. And Tooker, by my count, is not even inside the top 10. Make that 15. Don't know what happened there. We can perhaps
Here,
go
I'll
back
take a. I think I have it here.
Replay. This is coming toward the front straightaway. He gets on the outside of the racetrack there. The car has no grip, and he spins harmlessly out of the way there, but he has to gather it up, and he'll lose a ton of track position. Perhaps the fastest Toyota Camry, and definitely a key contender. One of these guys who was definitely looking and had this track marked as perhaps a surefire win in order to make it to round number 2.
All the way back in 17.
17th place, my goodness. So, I could barely even get the running order out before we were under green. And then, between that, the running order has definitely shifted already, as we have had some exciting action between our front row. R.C. Anderson, I don't even see him on the racetrack there, so...
he's all the way back in 14th.
White Lightning Racing as well. Thankfully, his teammate there, Chad Springfield up front, on the mantle right now currently. As R.C. Anderson... third quest, the 0-2, around in turn number 2. The 0-2 gets stacked up. He's back on the track. He'll lose more positions, and another championship contender in trouble early on this circuit through the S's here. I was unable to get you guys at home a true look at this racetrack here. This is very much a shortened racetrack. F1 goes to this speedway, and usually it's a full course. We are on the East Circuit, and right there, before we get to the S's, it looked like the 0-2 just had a little bit of the left rear tire get onto the grass, and that is just not going to work out for anyone, especially if you apply the power. And he goes around. Thankfully, he does not lose a ton of spots. He's only back to 10th. But man, today is a day where you need to have mistakes to a minimum. It was 6 turns around this very fast. This is a very fast road course. I don't know many other road courses that are within the less than 1 minute lap time bracket, but this one definitely fits that mold. You are flying around here, and you have to be perfect around these S's here as they navigate there before riding hard into the right-hander in turn 6. Frankenfield up front, though, has Gap Tyler Fody in the second position by a good 20 car lengths. Obviously, take a look at the action just behind. Everybody pretty much single file, a couple of stragglers running along there. I see on my screen the 29, the 95, and the 66 all perhaps having an issue early with this one, but we will have a fun flag to punch this field perhaps one more time, but don't know if we'll necessarily see the yellow flag very much here tonight. And with that, I will actually bring in Dave, who is our producer working hard behind the scenes here. Also going to lend his voice here for some commentary as well, but I just want to say hi to Dave. Thank you so much for watching all the action. That was early.
Fast and furious, isn't it?
It has been fast and furious, and these guys are getting after it. While we have a second to catch our breath, why don't we go ahead and pull up those championship standings, because that is definitely an important picture to take a look at. As we drop the green flag here today, there were 2 drivers that could breathe a sigh of relief no matter where they finished. Obviously, Tate Lytle with his win, but Nick Massey also, with the playoff points he's been able to accumulate throughout the season, he finds himself in a great point-paying position that no matter where he finishes this week and next week at Talladega, he will be inside the top 9. So congratulations to Nick Massey. Hard work does pay off. So he and Tate Lytle are the only competitors that really can breathe a sigh of relief here today and next week, dreading Talladega that comes up and will end round 1 of this 2-round playoff. Massey, who started in the 10th position there, just behind Hunter Smith. Behind him, Andrew Rucker. That's a side-by-side battle. Looks like he will follow it with RC Anderson there, and Chad Burnquist trying to pick up some spots where he left off as well.
RC's up in the top 10 now.
Didn't think I would expect him very long, yes, to make it there. And it's just behind him in that shot, I believe, was David Tooker as well.
Yeah, he's back in 14th.
I don't know what it is. It's something, you know, when I put on my driving hat, I wish I could describe myself, because road racing, there is an art to it. And for some guys, they tolerate it. For others, they are just naturally born with it. And R.C. Anderson, obviously, was a real-world IndyCar experience there. And then David Tooker, one of these guys that I've known since forever, he gets it. He gets how the car handles these corners, how you're able to accelerate in braking zones, and just all of this, of which we kind of sit up here and kind of scratch our heads right on board out of Cody there and take a look at what it's like to ride around this 1.39 mile road course. These guys, even virtually, are doing a lot behind the wheel, and adding that we have another gear here to a foreign racetrack, and I mean that in every sense of the word. This is a tough course to get down. Also, that turn 5 and turn 6 right there, that kind of puts you back onto the front straightaway there. That can be also very easy to somewhat miss. There's a section of the road course that kind of travels on, extends over. You see Nick Massey pull out of the way for R.C. Anderson there. Working lap number 10. How about Vincent Isabella there in that 12 car? He had a good run. Looked like he was going to have a good run last week. A lot of these guys did, but of our 14 competitors, of which we were keeping an eye on, all but one really was able to escape unscathed, and that was Tate Lytle, your winner. Looks like we have an incident on the racetrack between Trevor Elam and the 66th of Cody Harrington. Actually, it might happen in front of the 29. Yes, that left rear tire. I'm telling you, you get it off course and you're going to follow suit. This could have been a bad one there, because he was stopped in front of the racing surface there, where a lot of these guys were going to be running. Thankfully, no harm, no foul.
There's RC for another position.
Yes, he dove up underneath the rookie Hunter Smith right there, and he took that position. I think Smith wisely saw that RC was going to take that from way back. And that just goes to show the experience inside that 50 car, knowing that he could make that corner from way back there. The braking zones of these guys versus, you know, the field that's just trying to tolerate this racetrack here is quite the difference between the two. Let's see if we can ride on board with R.C. Anderson and how he sets up the 12 car. Vincent Phillips in the pass. Will Vincent just kind of give way? Looks like he has the preferred line entering turn number 1, but he does lose that spot. I guess that's kind of easy there.
He's been running about 6 to 7 tenths a second faster than the next 3 cars. So.
It makes your job that much easier. I know getting through the top 10, not everybody's going to be laying off. But that was smart driving, perhaps by the 12 car. Now he's behind Massey Weeks here.
Yeah, he should have the pace to get by Weeks, but then Tyrion, Lytle, Fody, and Frankenfield have all been running as fast as RC.
We all know catching people gets harder and harder the higher you climb inside the top 10. Now make it just outside the top 5. Actually, he's in it in the 5th place position. Chad Frankenfield, that 15 car. We mentioned that controversy he had last week. One of those lap cars involved in a late race caution flag that kind of changed the complexion of that race, including big time for Trevor Elam, who was the leader at that point. A lot was said and done over the radio there, a lot of which we probably cannot repeat due to FCC regulation. But Chad Frankenfield actually taking it upon himself to issue himself a 5-point penalty right there, recognizing that perhaps that was not the smartest move made. And I agree with him, and I think it is very cool that the league owner takes it upon himself to issue that penalty there, and he'll try to put that in the rearview mirror as everybody else, and he'll live on to fight another day. How about Tate Lytle, though? Just because he is safe as far as making it to round number 2 does not mean he's going to give up, and he has driven that Toyota Camry all the way up to the 3rd position there. Don't know if I necessarily put Lytle as a road course racer, but he's been pretty good, and he has a win on the road course. I remember him winning at Sonoma, so he's not bad last season, and he is definitely applying the pressure to the 40 car. Something that is unique on this circuit, as you can see, whoa, you saw the 56 car get loose as he applied the gas, tried to get back into it just a little bit early on the throttle. The car responded negatively, but he was able to gather it under his control. And now, take a look at this, right on, almost. He's gonna get in trouble. He finds himself way out of the groove. Thankfully, there's a runoff area right there because he had to use every inch of it in order not to run over the 40 car. Big moment.
Got an issue with Harrison Talon.
Take a look, 23. This is just behind Wyatt Canadle in the 84. This looks to be entering. Oh no!
Under power.
Exiting turn 6. That's right where we saw Tate Lytle actually get loose as well. And this one, he is stopped on the front stretch there. He gets going. There's some damage right there. As we are past lap 16, don't know exactly when that fun flag is going to be had. Perhaps
they just closed the pits, so I'm thinking 4 laps, right? Maybe.
Perhaps so. I was going to say, not only is the circuit just dreadfully fast, but it's also dreadfully narrow. And with a narrow road course like this, with braking zones so easy to overshoot, you really got to hit your marks right there, and you really have to plan your passing. How you catch a guy and then how you get around him are 2 very different things, especially as we navigate lap traffic also thrown into the mix. The 08 misses the corner there while he was under pressure from both the 40 and the 56, and he's going to have to back up.
Yeah, he just kind of took the runoff.
Smart move made by Mark Keeler to not make that a bigger issue, but yes. And how you catch lap traffic definitely can play a factor into how this one ends here. As we believe it'll be lap 20 when that fun flag comes out. Tate Lytle is doing all he can to get around this 40 car. I definitely think he might be faster, but with so little passing opportunities at this racetrack here, and look who's been able to creep into the picture. I use creep lightly. He's been on the move.
Yeah, he's probably telling Tate, you pass him or I will.
This I expect to be our fun flag here. Pace car going to gather the field, and this could perhaps be our only caution. We saw, or I saw, I don't know if we showed it to you guys at home though, the allotment of tires is going to be 3 sets, and I expect everybody perhaps to take a set right here, so they will have 2 more at the end of this one there, and just 90 laps, which at over, or just under a minute a lap there, this race will go by quickly. Oh, Dave, what have you liked so far just watching, and what are you noticing is going to be a problem for these guys as the laps click by?
Well, so far I've noticed that the usual road course aces are still road course aces, and we get a lot of off tracks. one thing is you always just have to stay clean in these races. Since we don't get a full course yellow, any time you spend off the track is going to be time lost to the leader. So that's if the leader's Chad, usually it's RC in the front, but this time it's Chad, they'll just run away. So it's nice that we have this fun flag to group them back up.
Very much so. That caution going to be a big break for the 50 and the 19, our front row, who after the first lap suddenly weren't there. Here comes Chad Frankenfield to bring them all on pit road, and I expect it'll be 4-tire Sunoco fuel for everybody. Some sort of adjustment for some of these guys right from the back of the pack, but everybody going to take advantage. We will have at least one more green flag pit stop that will have to be made. If you take a look here, this famed F1 pit road here, how unique pit road is, and just the scenery here. This is actually a gorgeous racetrack here. I know I've seen the circuit. Oh, David Tooker had to back up there. We lose a second or two. There goes Chad Frankenfield. He will lead Talafodi and Tate Lytle. RC Anderson in the 83 back onto the track. Don't know if we're going to go green this time by. They might grid up. We'll see.
They have to catch up to the pace car first, at least. The one car stayed out.
Yes, and that will be the 95, a championship contender there, Joshua Adams. Looks like we might not go green this time by. I still see the light on top of the pace car there.
Now would not. He's not a championship contender. So on this view, the white ones are in the chase, and the blue ones are just the. He's just going for wins.
My bad. That would make sense. So yes, as you heard right there, that is reversed from last week. So
yeah,
not a mistake. So while we are going to have this one lap to get back underway, we'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Just leave you with some cycling sounds of Suzuka and perhaps a little final green flag restart of the night about to be underway. One lap to go.
All right, we'll take the rest of this caution. I'll go ahead and do some sponsor reads if you want me to, Alex.
Yep, go ahead.
Pay some bills. Hold up here. C2 Freight is our first premier partner. C2 Freight offers complete freight management services. They're ready to meet your needs today as well as your changing needs in the future. With thousands of qualified carriers in their database, they're capable of handling shipping for every large type of goods from perishable foods to office equipment. Whatever you need to ship, they have the access to the necessary equipment, including flatbeds, double drops, vans, tankers, refrigerated equipment, multi-axle heavy haulers, dump trucks, auto carriers, intermodal containers, and more. That's C2 Freight Services. Our second premier partner is Blue Egg Marketing. Blue Egg, the marketing department for small businesses. Small business owners, Blue Egg is your biggest fan. And our third premier sponsor is Powerhouse Recycling. Powerhouse Recycling strives to offer the highest level of customer service in the industry for each load processed time and time again. Attainable account representatives, prompt and on-time pickups, and customized recycling solution keeps Powerhouse Recycling as North Carolina leader in customer service. They believe in quality customer service before, during, and after the processing of a client's materials. They strongly believe through their superior customer service, customized recycling, and complete transparency, they can earn your business. We're back under green.
Yes, we are. Joshua Adams, the only driver to stay out in that 95 car. Tate Lytle Gonna try and take advantage of that on fresher tires toward the inside. 95 way off the racetrack. So does the 56. It opens up. The 15 gets by. Adams off track, and now it's a side-by-side battle through the S's. Here comes Chad Springenfield, who spun the tires on that start. Now the 56 car in trouble, applying pressure to the back bumper is the 40. And R.C. Anderson as well, trying to snake through the S's here and get around that 56 car who's back under power there after a squirrely moment. Entering turn 4, now 5 and 6 back onto the front stretch. Chad Springenfield has lost 4 spots on this spot a lap ago. He's been able to gain it all back as the rest of the field somehow is able to single file themselves out. They had to avoid the 95 car.
Oh, we got a big wreck. We got a big wreck.
And big crash, it sounds like, in the back of the pack. Vincent Isabella involved, and will it involve the 28 car of Joshua Clark? Yes. Odd one. Oh, he collects the 60 who has nowhere to go, and then the 87. Richard Hines piles into it as well. One more look at it. Yes, that has been a trouble spot for a number of competitors here today. Getting back into the gas right there. The car very light. And then in an effort to try and get out the racing surface, he collects the 60 of Joey Chapman and the 87 of Richard Hines, who has nowhere to go. And I'm sorry, I think that might be... Yes, that was the 87. I wanted to make sure that was good. But yes, we are under the yellow flag because of that. That was a track blocker. Joey Chapman there, nowhere to go. It looked like he would have been okay had the 60 car not just been there. Unfortunately, he was.
Yeah, a lot of choice words flying in the driver chat. Not being hit while stopped. But if you stop right in the middle of the track, that's the risk you take.
That is, then. Unfortunately, that is going to take out at least 3 competitors with heavy damage because of that. It's costing, though, probably a big break for the 95, who decided to venture out, get a lap led, get a bonus point there added to his name, but not going to be inside the top 10 because of that move. See, a tally is going to be issued to the 28 of Joshua Clark.
And they did give him the tally for not staying put. They said when you slide and you're in the middle of the track like that, you have to hold your position until everybody's by you. And he thought it was clear, and he moved, and he gave the 60 nowhere to go. So.
That is unfortunate. Second caution of the day there. 3-car accident. Entering turn number 6, or exiting turn 6, should I say.
I figure out we got some stuff going on in their caution here. I think they're just coming to the stop.
That is the 11 of Matthew Weeks there.
Yeah, it's just tagging him as crashes because somebody came to a stop during the yellow.
Looks like no harm, no foul. One of our championship contenders, though, is out of the race there. Michael Goodman. He will have to be in a must-win scenario at Talladega. That is something I don't believe anybody wants to have. So it's just less than 30 cars on the road course. We mentioned, I know you and I were talking about that, Dave, here, how road course racing is not everyone's favorite. And that could perhaps show in the car count here. We're used to seeing, we saw 43 2 weeks ago at Daytona. It's down to the 31 there. And road course racing is not everyone's cup of tea.
A little bit of a mess going on right now with those cars that stopped on the track. They're now coming back by and trying to regain their positions, which, as we've learned in previous races, iRacing doesn't really know how to handle that. So now there's a lot of arguing going on about what position they should be starting in and what they're going to be allowed to be in.
And, well, let's ask the question, why were cars stopping on the racetrack? I didn't see the issue exactly was somebody stopped in front of them. We saw that play out at Martinsville for David Checkered there, and he unfortunately lost all his spots.
And it sounds like that's going to be the same thing. Is that
sounds consistent? Yeah, and we've seen that in real NASCAR as well. I remember famously Marcus Ambrose back at Sonoma, another road course there in the States. He was cutting the car off and on fuel. It would not refire. With 6 laps to go, Jimmy Johnson was able to get by in 2010. He went on to get his only Sonoma win that day. Marcus Ambrose found himself back in 5th place after the car just would not refire. He would during the yellow flag, and he lost 6 positions. So we'll see what happens here. Looks like pace lights, excuse me, lights are going to be off on the pace car. And that'll be unfortunate. Hopefully not a lot of spots lost for Matthew Weeks, but that will be a championship contender in trouble. He's now back in the 17th position. 18th, that's usually as you watch it live unfold.
Yeah, I think the issue right now is they're trying to give a end of line to Matthew Weeks, the 11, for stopping on track under the caution. And he's resisting, saying he's not going to the back because he didn't pass everybody. And Tooker is, of course, chiming in, saying he had to have that in Martinsville, which is what you were mentioning. So a lot of precedent that has been set, and they're trying to follow what NASCAR does.
Well,
sorry, it's not Matthew Weeks. It's Chad Thornquist. I want to.
Oh, it's Chad Thornquist. Okay, so that's the car that came to a stop. Okay, because I was gonna say, like the 11 car, it looked like he slowed down, but it didn't look like he came to a stop. But if the 02 came to a stop, then yes.
Yeah, the 2 car has now been given 5 seconds to drop back, or he's going to be booted out of the race.
And that would be big. That is a championship contender. He started in row number 2. And he will find himself deep in this field, along with the 11 car.
Yeah, so they're very clearly stating if you stop on the track during caution, it will be an yield.
Unfortunate, but not the end of the day for these guys. As the green flag is back out. Looks like Chad Frankenfield once again spun the tires. He doesn't get going. He's not going to even lead him into turn 1. Tate Lytle takes advantage of that in front of R.C. Anderson. Tyler Fode also gets around the 15, who falls back to 4th place. They'll minimize the bleeding right now as they travel through the S's. Left, right, left, right, left, right, before back into turn 5 and turn 6 onto the front stretch. Wow, the 56 car loose once again on the second set of the S's. Here comes the 3rd set, and R.C. Anderson trying to regain one more spot. He's back up to the position he qualified. He wants one more. As that Ford Mustang is sprung to life. Lap 27 of 90 into the books. Tate Lytle from the 1 mile course of Rockingham to Japan, thousands of miles away. He is a factor.
Got an issue in the pack.
6 car can do as we take a look. And Harrison Talon, this would be his 2nd issue. If it brought out a caution flag, yes, in almost the exact same spot where he got loose. Whoa, Zach Evans does a great job to avoid that.
Didn't get a break. It didn't bring out a caution.
But yeah, turn 6 has been a number of guys, and I have to wonder why that is.
Yeah, they're coming out and they're back up to power.
Out of the corner, yeah, back up to power. It's kind of late on exit for the car to suddenly jump out. Wonder also what happened on that restart there. I haven't heard anything from iRacing Control. I don't think you have there either. So it just, to me, sounds like a bad start. As we see one competitor, I believe, inside that might have been Hunter Smith there in the 14 way wide. He finds himself back on the track in front of Andrew Rucker. But yes, Turn 1 has not been kind, or turn 6, getting onto the straightaway here at Suzuka.
Yeah, what I'm hearing on the start was that the 15 car missed a shift, and everybody else went for avoidance to go around him, so they were all cleared for passing before the line.
Blink and you'll miss it. We already have 1/3 of the race.
Oh, RC's all over Tate.
But yes, RC is. He's taking a look, and we know he'll drive it into turn 1 before setting up. This is a pretty... Turn 1, you don't have to brake as hard as you do for turn 2 before you get back into the S's here.
But the way these races go, this could be the pass for the win.
It really could, as now, saw the 56 car give a little bit a shot for the 50, but he's not been able. He's been taking his line away. But the gap has been consistently less than half a car length, if that, between the two.
Get loose.
Really sliding tires right there, and they will take a wreck. Look at this block down the front stretch there. RC Anderson there. Will he take note of that, or will he just try and get around him? Very much a defensive line as the 56 car continuing to try and keep that 50 behind him, but he goes wide entering turn number 2. That opens up the spot on the bottom, but now the 56 car, will he be able to attack back on the left-hand side? He will not. The 50 has been able to clear him and move RC Anderson up a position on the board. Lap 30, it took him 30 laps to get back to the point. Can that 50 car find himself out of trouble into victory lane today? I'm impressed. Lytle not going to give up that spot easily, but wants to give clean air to a man that knows road courses like the back of his hand. It doesn't matter where we go. We're in Japan. We're in the States. If it's virtually. If it's not virtually.
It does look like RC just kind of plays with the field sometimes. Where he followed Tate there for a while and kind of shadow drove him for a little while, and then he passes him, then he lets him come back and get close a little bit. So. But he always seems to be in control.
It's just interesting to me. I always wonder, like, what are they doing inside the race car? Like, what is he doing that's so different that I'm losing, a tenth every lap, and it adds up. He's trying to, the 56 trying to shadow drive that 50 as well as everybody else in the field. Oh, got one spin in there. It should be. Is that the 83? Yes. Shane almost had an off-track excursion, and turn 6 bites another competitor. He'll fall outside of the top 10 because of that.
Oh, we got Jeff Green off.
This is down the front stretch here.
It just pulled off the track, maybe.
He did. Was that an engine issue? Was that a server issue? He does come to a stop.
And then
he blinks out.
Huh.
So that would tell me day is done for Jeff Green.
Not hearing anything about it.
He might have had enough. Sometimes there are road courses that'll do that to you. Some tracks, I famously say, if Sonoma was a person, it would be on site. That track and I do not get along. Looks like Shane was able to get around Nick Massey. I'm impressed. Tate Lytle, he's not giving up, though. He's been able to stay in tow. Stride for stride. They're just behind.
Trying to find some close battles here. Here's a close battle with Josh Adams.
Who I believe one of those cars that did elect to pit under that second caution. Remember, he did not after the first caution and found himself in trouble in turn 1. Trevor Elam as well, right behind him. And then these guys in the 16th, 17th position there are sandwiched between Chad Thornquist and Matthew Leach, who worked themselves back from that end of line penalty they had stopping during that previous yellow flag.
Right under braking.
Oh, wow. You see the 29. There is contact, and they almost go around. All three almost touch right there.
Weeks came up and got involved.
Michael Hossack had to jump on the brake to see where these guys were going to go.
Fortunately,
like
we have another off for the 23 car.
Ooh. I mean,
He just has trouble tonight coming out of corners.
That one looked like he had it. Well, entering the corner, he had the back end a little light right there. But yeah, it's just not been Harrison Pallen's day. He had a good qualifying effort, but ever since then, things have gone downhill for that 23 car. Taking a look, this battle again will shape up this just to try and get inside the top 15. Finally, the 29 is going to yield that position to the 11 of Matthew Weeks here, who will set his sights on the 95 of Joshua Adams here. Elam reminds me of going back to last week, a competitor who's still in search of his first win there. He was so close, rightfully angry there, but I believe he finds himself in a position to do exactly what happened at Rockingham. We'll be talking about this 29 car in Victor Lane pretty soon. So that's what makes the sport, so heart-wrenching for some. You can be so close. I know in real life we think about some of the drivers that have been so close there have not had luck. Tyler Reddick comes to mind.
Back here and take a look at, there was a good battle between Hooker and Chad that kind of went back and forth.
This is, I believe, inside the top 5.
I think Hooker's going to get past him, and then Chad's going to come back and take the spot back.
High above, you can really see just how narrow these corners are. And with road coursing, one thing about it is that you can have the preferred line one turn and be on the opposite end the very next turn, which is what I believe happened there for the 19 and the 15. Meanwhile, R.C. Anderson has been able to increase the gap just a little bit, about a second in front of the 56 of Tate Lytle. 11, Matthew Weeks has been able to get around Joshua Adams, bring him inside the top 15 as well.
Well, as we mentioned, the good battle, I guess he gets a little bit off track here, Chad. I think he's going to dip off. Gave up a position.
Right where, nope. He gets loose. He has to try and catch it, gets behind in his steering, and then he goes for an off-track excursion. Don't know if there's a penalty
the corner.
for cutting the course. Is that a penalty there that he could have? Andrew Rucker barely gets through.
He gave up one position.
Almost gets tagged to the rear end by Rasmus in that 70 car.
Like he did give a little contact on Rucker, too.
Able to slide in that hole that I don't know if necessarily was there.
Can't find one, make one.
He was leading early, but now that 15 finds himself in 7th place after missing a shift. It's always bad what can happen if, one thing that puts you just a little bit further in the pack and how things compound, especially in racing.
Looks like this is our closest battle on track.
They'll have about 5 of them there. That's Andrew Rucker in the 6th position there. A couple of teammates right behind rather than in that 70 car as the 15 takes a look to the inside. Rucker going to use that curbing to try and get a bite and do the crossover move.
I'm hearing it did give him a 0.1 second hold for that shortcutting the track.
A 0.1 second hold.
So
will
he'll
be added
They'll either
the
hold
end
him
of
on
it-
a pit stop or they'll add it to his time at the end.
Interesting. But still, just 0.1 seconds?
Yeah, that's not much.
That's not much at all. Shoot.
It probably saved him more than that, right?
Yeah. I'll be like, how many times? I've always said that there, what do you call it? If for, I've seen this in real life, you know, the backstretch chicane at the Roval, if you miss that, the penalty is you have to come to a stop. And I've always been of, you know, firm position on that. On the very last lap, I would just blow through the chicane, get as much as I could, and then come to a stop right before the start-finish line, and then go. I feel like you could gain a position way much more on that last lap than you would be, you know, obviously braking and you know, making through the turn. Just on
It would
that
certainly
final
be
lap.
a story, I'm sure.
It definitely would, you know. But nonetheless, I've never had. I don't think I'll ever have the opportunity to try it. And all the drivers I've tried to, you know, do it, they just won't call me back anymore. I'm violating this rule.
Not taking your advice, huh?
Yeah. But anyway, we'll see if it's done one of these days. All right, so lap 41 of 90, no change up front. I think this is probably a good time to leave you guys with a little bit of some sights and sounds. We'll do about 2 laps of this here real quick as we carry on under green. But if anything breaks out, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Round 1 underway at Suzuka. Welcome back to the Suzuka Grand Prix here for the Elite Racing Network. You're taking a look at some of the action on track. Wow, things got twirly a little bit for the 48 and his teammate the 83 right there. Thankfully, they were all able to keep it on track and point it in the right direction. That was a little bit of an accordion that had 6 cars all come together right there. First was the 48 that got a little bit loose right there on that section of the race course. And then his teammate, the 83, Shane, also doing the exact same thing. You're halfway in the Suzuka Grand Prix. Up front, our senior. Oh, big slide off. Everybody misses the corner right there. Wow. Talk about being led off a cliff. I believe the 48 car just got into it a little too hot, and the 70 car Erasmus followed him the exact same way. Both cars are able to continue on, but it'll be interesting to note to see if that 48 car and the 70 were scored a penalty for cutting the course right there. It worked for the 48 car. He did not lose any position. However, Erasmus, he lost 4 spots because of that move. Woo! And once again, it's back off again. You can never, ever take a look away here. That was interesting.
All right, I was fixing. I got some information that Josh Adams was in the playoffs, so I wanted to go ahead and correct that.
Oh, he was. Okay, good. He did get a lap led, so that is important with Talladega looming. And I do mean looming, because that is a track of which anything can happen. Don't want to miss that. That'll be 8:30.
Oh, we got Michael Hosak off.
The 24 car there. Through the S's here. What happens to bite the Canadian? Oh, you saw him have a little bit more input in the rear of the car.
Then some help.
Help from the 28 of Joshua Clark, who finishes him off.
Battle here.
How about Thornquist trying to get back and crack the top 10 after that end-of-line penalty there that began on lap 27. It's taken him a little more than 20 laps to get knocking on the door, but he's a knocking. And in a lap or so, he might be entering. While we were under that extended coverage, non-stop action, I was actually able to do the math and take a look to see when we could expect these guys going on pit road.
Joshua Adams just came in.
This is a little bit early, but you know, I don't know if we have.
That his first pit stop?
Hold on, just one sec. I'm sorry.
He stayed out on the fun flat. Last pit stop was at 46. So he made it 46 laps.
I'm so sorry. I have to step out for like 2 minutes there, Dave. I will be
No
right
problem.
back.
Go back up front with RC Anderson here. Try to find you a close matchup through the field. I think go back to Chad Thurquist. He's right on the back of Andrew Rucker there. Thurquist could probably drive him with a little passion. Call it passion. After having that EOL. Going car with him. Kind of feather the throttle through that, kind of let the car roll through there. A lot of traffic right here. Lap time wise, they've been swapping one to the other. Lap car gonna get by. Thornquist looks pretty eager to want to get by him. He just can't find the spot. Eye on the rest of the field. Pretty good lead. RC Anderson out to Got an 8-second lead now. Twist up on the curbing there on the outside of that corner. Oh, Rehnquist gives him a little bump, but sends him to the outside. Sends himself to the outside. Loses a little ground. One of my favorite views, always, I think, since it gives a good view of the speed where the nose of the car darts in and out and see how closely they do come in braking zones. Rest of the field kind of settling into some nicer gaps other than this crew right here. Gould is just about 6/10 up. Rehnquist finally gets underneath him. Rucker's going to try to cross him under, back under. I think he's going to hold that position. I think Rehnquist has been a lot faster the last few laps. He just couldn't get by Rucker. See if he runs away from him a little bit now. Oh, Rucker gets wide, and that's battle. Zach Evans on Vincent Isabella. Joshua Clark. A lot of damage on Bella's car. Out there without her front clip, looking like a modified. Pulling away from Rasmus. Next to this action now. Trying to deal with lap traffic. He chases down Thornquist. Twist in the top 10 again. The ticker across the top, the cars that are in white numbers are the ones that are in the chase. The 14 cars that are in the chase. And I believe I was a late fill-in to do this, but I believe the cars in green are the ones that are locked in the chase. Tate Lytle for his win, and the other Nick Massey on point.
Almost an off-track excursion just behind these guys. He gathered back up there as he turned to turn 6 there, I believe. My apologies there, Dave.
No worries.
In my haste to get here on time, only to have my computer not updated and everything, I, let's just say, parked somewhat illegally.
Oh, could have been worse. I thought maybe I left my car running.
And, normally I'm fine. I could see it right out the window, but then I saw a cop car go by, and as much as I love being paid and everything to do this, it does not cover parking tickets, so I had to take care of that. So my apologies, everyone.
Yes, you would have quickly gone into the red.
If I sound a little out of breath, I very much was. I was running. Hopefully I did not miss anything here as we get 45 laps to go here.
Thornquist is in.
Actually, 35. And yes, this would be, I would expect, green flag pit stops. This is a little bit early. The magic number, as I was just about to say before the unexpected police car showed up, was 63. These guys went back under the green flag on lap 27. If they were to split that stage, the remaining 73 laps that we would have in half, it would be lap 63. We do not know, however, if they can make it.
Well, he went 37.
36. So
he went 37 laps on that.
He should be able to make it then. to the end.
And then we should expect everybody to be coming in.
And as we take a look at the running order, only 16 cars are on the lead lap. This road course, it's unique in the fact that I believe you can pit and perhaps even still go a lap down with just how slow pit road speed is and how fast the circuit is. I don't think you're necessarily in the green yet, depending on where you are in relationship to the leader. Everybody else that is pitting before the blistering pace set by that 50 car might be a little bit in trouble if a yellow flag does indeed come out. We don't expect it to, but if there were something to block the track, that's what we saw to bring out our second and only caution flag for an incident on the course. It could happen, and that would change how the running order that we currently have at play.
So it would look like the 18th position, R83 Shane Therian, the first one who does not have to pit. Him and Thornquist and Joshua Adams should be good to go to the end.
Thing for them, though, they are all one lap down. So if a yellow flag does come out, they would take the wave around as everybody would be on pit road, but they would lose all that track position. It would not gain them. They can unlap themselves there on these newer tires. It'll be interesting to see what the pace on perhaps the 95 or the 02 versus what we're seeing out of that 50, but I still don't know if it would be enough before that 50 car is going to come in, and I do believe we would see him in very soon.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the pit delta top and how far they up. Might be able to get in close to the top 10.
In mind that they are using the most good on their tires currently right now, so they won't have that toward the end of this. Will they be able to build up enough of a buffer to not dramatically free fall through the running order on the closing laps of this one? That's something you have to be on your mind when you are your own crew chief. How are you going to be able to save those tires to make sure they last? Because they're going to be asking a bit much from them versus everybody else who still has yet to pit.
Well, Josh Adams, who was going to try to go the rest of the way, has kind of made that a little worse on himself by having it off.
Take a look. Yes. This is turn 5 before turn 6. Our left rear tire on the grass. It'll get you every time. Wow, Massey does a great job to avoid that. And he does come to a stop on the racetrack, which means he'll lose even more time to the leaders up front.
Thornquist is not saving his tires. He went out and set a best of the racetrack, or a fast lap, 52.35, fastest of anyone.
That is usually the most, and rightfully so. That's what you need to do. Get the most out
52.48 on the next lap as well.
Yeah, this is a fast road course. I don't know if NASCAR, I don't believe any road courses that we go to are underneath the 1 minute range for lap times. This is a very fast pace road course. It's just very narrow, very tricky for these drivers to handle. See the 02, he's right on the back bumper, second place. He has made the most. Now, the lap that I gave for everybody to split what would have been the race in half was 63.5.
Here comes Fody down pit lane.
Like some of these guys are going to take just a little bit before that, but anybody that pits on lap 63 would have split that stage in half from when we last went green.
Brad Frankenfield has pitted as well.
How about the consistency seen in this 40 car? I have said it. I said it in the broadcast last week here. I have nicknamed him Mr. Consistency because it does not matter where we go. If it is a road course, if it is a short track, if it is a mile and a half, this guy will somehow bring it home in third, despite having, everything that could go wrong with him at Rockingham last week. He still brought it home in third. Having a great day for him is still in third. He's not yet been able to break out and win, but sometimes you don't need to. You need to capitalize on the mistakes made by others. When everybody else has made a mistake, he himself has been consistent enough not to. And so that consistency has often been said to win championships. It could be the factor in getting that 40 car. We could have a winless champion this year. That round 3, which is, you know, a winner takes all, we don't necessarily have to win that race in order to be champion. You just have to finish in front of 3 other competitors. And if everybody else makes a mistake, that 40 car does not look out. Here is that money lap I was talking about. That's lap 63 on the board. We'll see if any of our front takers decide to come down pit road. I don't see Tate Lytle behind. Oh, wow, the 06. An excursion off right in front of the leader there.
Brian Schold.
It may have been the 96. You see, Ryan Schold was still considerable. We'll take a look. Nope, it was the 66. Well, you know, I knew there was 1-6. It happened so fast. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened there too. And he'll actually find the tire barrier. Ouch! First time we've seen some significant contact there.
Now we got it off with Trevor Elam.
Oh, right in turn 6 again. That time it begins to tail slap, and then you just hardly can save that once the back end becomes light. And he has to wait for a break in traffic here. He's going to lose a number of spots.
Well, he did follow instructions that if you spin and stop on the track, you're supposed to wait till everybody goes by.
And that's going to be harder, too, considering the track has been split up and everybody has been able to go by. I mean, look at this. He is still waiting for breaking traffic. You know how frustrating it is. You know, that one turn that you could never make that doesn't have a light in your neighborhood. That's exactly how that 29 car felt right there. I'm not going to say, when am I clear? When can I go? Here comes R.C. Anderson. He is going to be on pit road with 26 laps to go.
Massey's been in as well. He's coming out.
This is the point of the race there, Dave, where I asked Rashaf, you know, who do you like and who you think is going to win this race? But I think we might have our clear answer. I think we're already on him.
Yeah, I think to be fair, we got to pick somebody besides RC.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very, very true.
Who do you think's going to finish second?
Well, Tate Lytle had actually got a great lead in front, but David Tooker, I think, has worked his way up to the third position, and the pace in that 19 car was enough to get the pole. With 26 laps on the board, I would not be surprised if somehow the 19 was able to wrestle around that 56 car, but Tate Lytle, he might have what it takes to get in second as well.
Hunter Smith's having a heck of a run today for a rookie. Up 11 spots.
He did a great job, and I actually saw, we mentioned him before, although wrongfully accusing him of going off course, but Schold, the 06 car was inside the top 10, and he is now, for Little League Racing, he's running along in 5th, so an excellent run for that rookie as well.
Well, there's two of them. Brian Schold and Hunter Smith are both Little Eagle Racing, right? So they did their prep work this week.
They absolutely have. Those Ford Mustangs, those are the best day when you can come home from turning left and right in the car, still looking good on both sides as well. You've done something.
Trying to find some action for...
The same for some of the cars you're jumping through. That 12 car, minus the hood.
Still coming through the field, though.
He is, though. He very much is trying to salvage what he can. And how about Wyatt Canado doing a great job? He's also a rookie in this series. And he has worked his way up inside the top 10. We still see some pit stops, I believe, are still going to have to be made. But he's done a great job for Fueled Up Racing. in that Chevy Camaro as well.
Unfortunately for the field, RC just dropped to 4th is all the farther that he dropped, and he just dropped a 52.15 on everyone. 2/10 faster than anyone.
Somebody take that car back to R&D. It's just, I know we're running a 5-speed in these cars now, but I would dare venture he's on a 6th one. Hearing he has in that car, it has just been unbelievable. He's coming up on the back bumper of the 19. And as I mentioned there before, these guys, they were your front row. Neither of them were there after the first lap. Don't know. We never saw what happened to R.C. Anderson there. He just wasn't there, it looked like, on the initial start. And then David Tooker had navigated 5 corners well before getting to turn 6 and going around early on lap number 1.
Well, that'd be a good question for him if we get to interview him. Like, what happened on the start?
What? Very much. I will.
Maybe he pulled off and he had to count to 5 Mississippi before he could start.
I will just give him the field a chance. That's probably what he's going to say. This is a battle, what do you call it, for position there. The 19 of Tooker did come on pit road, I believe, about 2 laps before the 50. And like a stalker looking for his prey, he goes around the 19 car and is hunting that lead. It's going to get to him here momentarily. Only 15 cars are on the lead lap.
Yeah, normally you would say, you know, Enerson knows everybody in front of him has to pit. He doesn't have to push, but he just easily passes them. He passes up through the field, even though they still have to pit.
And let's take a look. Who is our current leader, actually?
Currently Tate.
Okay, so Tate, he has not pitted yet.
No. Tate Lytle and Hunter Smith have not pitted ahead of him. They got about an 8-second lead. Enerson back in 3rd.
Yeah, with that 52.15 dropping, like it's his latest mixtape there, it'll be soon when that 50 car arrives on the back bumper of the 14 and that 56. They should go on pit road there. This will answer of the fuel run window that we had there, Dave. How long can you run? I like the strategy by Tate because, hey, let's say we get a yellow flag.
Yeah.
Everybody else has put on, I believe. Actually, no, there's still 1 set of tires for everybody.
Yeah, they would all still have one set of tires.
They would still have all 1 set of tires. So he has some track position there that would be key, but he would be able to save another, what would you call it, another set of tires. He would need another yellow flag to come out in order to take advantage of that, but so far, this 56 car, he has nothing to lose and everything to gain should the yellow flag come out. Everybody would have to go down pit road and he would inherit that track position. And him winning last week, he's in a position to do just this. It's weird what a win can do for your team, for your confidence, for everything. A winning just seems to be the key, obviously, to success, but when you win, you seem to just unlock even more potential, and that's what we're seeing out of our reigning champion right now. Had the best regular season, but after he's won the last, I think, 3 of the last 4 race 1 of the rounds that we've had in the playoffs there, he just comes to life during this time of the year. So that 56 car, you can never count him out. Great onboard action and walk through all these S's here. As I call it, 3 sets before you get to turn 5, turn 6. Turn 6 is that's the one that's been biting these guys there. A little bit of a downhill turn. You see him have to feather the throttle there. You're still really much putting a lot of wheel input before you get to the straightaway, and right where the start-finish line practically is when you really stop turning. So I can see why these guys are having trouble exiting the corner. That is a very long kind of a carousel before you make it onto the straightaway there.
Take a look through the field, try to battle. Joshua Clark on the back of Vincent Isabella.
And all these guys are fighting to stay on the lead lap currently. It's happening right in front of the 56 car. And the 56, no matter what, even though he's the leader there, he has older tires. And then with these guys still fighting to be on the lead lap, he's going to find himself slowing down. So it's interesting to see, when does the 56 car decide to pit? That's the question we have. Also with the 14 as well. Clark, Pro Edge Racing teammate, going to give the inside to Tate Lytle. Sits inside on the rookie there, the 83 car. Rasmussen and Clark wheel to wheel, as you see R.C. Anderson's been able.
He's polished off another one.
That 14 car.
Now he's got 10 seconds to up to Tate.
Which will be all but nothing. Especially when that 56 car, we know he still has to pit. So not a race-winning strategy right now for the 56 car. He's in the lead, but he's definitely going to have to come down and get fuel, I believe. I don't think anybody can make it all the way to the end.
Yeah, even if he could, on pace, he's going to catch him in about 10 laps. Zach Evans off.
Prix off racing. That was practically the next course over. Take a look and see what happened here. The dreaded left rear. That time he just overcorrects and points the car there, and that is why we saw him so out of shape.
That's a Suzuka West? Is that what that is?
Yeah. That's when your GPS says
recalculating.
Make illegal U-turn. I always love that. I always love my GPS telling me, like, hey, what you're doing it's not legal. But you need to do it. Well, 15 laps to go here. Just a little under, I believe, less than 15 minutes really of racing, especially with the pace that we're seeing out of that 50.
Frank Field on 40. Always a good battle.
Yes, these guys.
Not shy about shape.
Away with one another.
Yeah, they're not shy about sharing paint.
See a little bit created right there. Like the 15 gave a bump to the 40. My only worry for Tate Lytle on this strategy here is that he'll be giving up not only the lead, but he'll give up, more track position to some of these guys. His other closer competitors, they're all going to gain a spot because of this. And I don't think he can make up as many spots if he decides to get 4 fresh tires.
Oh, it was not clear.
He's gonna get around the 96. Had to get back on the track right there. Vincent Isabella almost gets going, but Rasmus goes for a slide. And that's a shame. He had been inside the top 10. Just that little bit just was not clear. Well, they all go around and stack up. Massey and Clark doing a great job getting through that melee. Back to live pictures. Chad Frankenfield still applying the pressure. Frankenfield, who will be, we don't know if he was assessed a penalty right there for running the course there on the, right before he went down pit road.
He did pit, so he would have probably served it then. So.
Oh, he's gonna find
a little off.
A little bit of a curbing right there. Some gravel. We'll lose a little bit of time. I think he believes he's faster than that 40 car. He was setting some pretty good lap speeds before that fun caution came out. That wasn't so fun for him on the restart. 8 Lytle. What do you think is going through his mind? I mean, he's certainly made his bed. He's got to lay in it.
That's a lot of green on the lap time there. Those are some big chunks.
Oh yeah, it's not a question of if, but when. That Jaws theme music you hear in the background, that's coming out of the 50 car. I'm just trying to figure out, though, if this 56 indeed has enough fuel to make it to the end. You know, I do know some of these guys, you can do some crazy fuel saving things. You cannot shift. Don't know if that is
I'm
going through this 56 car, but
I'm gonna use some information from the chat. Chris Wright, one of our fellow broadcasters, is saying in the chat that based on his math, he should be 5 to 10 laps short, but we don't know if he's saved or not. So
that's interesting.
He might need less than 5.
We're all scratching our head right now, just like we were earlier on the broadcast in real world when Eric Jones' right rear tire would not come off and he had the entire garage wondering what on earth is happening. Kind of my mindset right now with this 56 car, because by my calculations, that would be correct, is that you cannot make it, you absolutely cannot make it all the way to the end without fuel. But also, if you were planning on putting on tires, you would need, kind of expect to put on tires and need some time in order to make it through the field.
Not sure what's up with Richard Hines here. I think he just pulls off and quits.
Pulls off, yeah.
Or letting traffic by, it looks like.
Not a bad deal. 10 to go, Mark, and you're seeing that 50 car slide into the picture.
He's just one car between them now.
I mean, there's not much that can be said when you pitted and you still catch the guy that's in front of you there, and you've not made a pit stop yet. So, another scratch call, but that's still... You cannot second guess the pace that is in that 50. Take a look at what he's been able to gain every lap, almost a second each time he traveled the circuit there. I'm just worried there because if he does have to pit, he's not going to have enough. Really, it's going to put him deep in this field, and although his running order does not matter, it's safe as far as the round is 9, but it won't do him very much any good for point positions as far as stealing any points away from competitors here. If he finishes outside top 10, hands everybody basically inside the top 10 an extra point.
And we also have David Tooker, who's sitting in 4th place. He also has not pitted. And Hunter Smith as well has not pitted. They both came in on lap 18 with 8 Lytle.
That must tell me that these guys, one car I can feel that perhaps they're just out there gambling, especially T. Lytle with the win in the bag from last week. But 2 to 3 other cars all staying out. Has Matthew Weeks pitted?
There are 8 cars. Matthew Weeks has not pitted either.
Okay, so that tells me it is a strategy call. There are a number of people that feel like perhaps they can make it in. Or can they?
But Emerson's made it.
This is going to be the pass for the lead and the win here. Unless the yellow flag comes out. Same in the background there. Also trying to get a lap back.
Conspiracy theorists are saying the Toyotas are getting better fuel.
They're getting something. I'll give them that.
Well, he's not going to hold him off for 7 laps, that's for sure.
Oh, that is definitely for sure. This is what we call playing with your food before you take more. There's a bump. And if you're you don't want to be spun out there, but you also have to recognize that, hey, this guy has traveled throughout the entire field to catch back up and is the fastest car on the race course. I know you don't want to give up the lead. I think he would want to, if he is indeed done pitting for the day, the best thing he could do is perhaps let that 50 car go and solidify second place finish.
There's another bump.
I'm impressed though. He's been able to hang on. Those bumps though are going to get bigger and bigger as you watch from the rear view of the 56 car.
I just get the feeling that RC's just kind of playing with him.
He just likes that Jaws theme music. He wants it to continue to play.
Likes to put on a show.
At the stripe, it'll be 5 laps to go, and that is the danger zone. You know, RC, I mean, this is impressive. We have seen him catch the 56 car, but he has not been able to pass him. Here he goes to the outside. Oh, he shut the door on him. And with how little passing zones there are, you really have to set him up there once again, or really have to wait another lap.
Oh, Lighter gets loose.
He gets loose. Here comes the 50 back underneath. They're side to side, wheel to wheel. RC Anderson to the outside of the 56 car.
They both get loose.
Lytle trying to do all he can. He hangs on to the left rear of the car. It won't be enough. Move RC Anderson back to the point. 4 laps to go next time by.
And Tate pretty much can hold on from here. He's 30 seconds up the road from Hooker in 3rd.
So Pro Edge Racing doing a great job using late race strategy called not to pit that entire stage. Not going to get them to win, but definitely going to get them the points they need in order to make it to Talladega next week.
Tate's saying he was hoping he could stay in front of him for 5 laps, but he was hopeful. He was hopeful, but he wasn't certain.
Yeah, that was going to be a tall order. Very much so. But I'm impressed. I mean, some of these guys that I thought for sure, here I am doing math. They made me do math, and they didn't even need it.
Tate is saying that he's a half a lap short, so anybody with 18 is going to be really close. So we can really jumble this field the last lap.
And that is not what some of these championship contenders, including David Tooker, want to hear.
Yeah, he's got Fody closing on him fast.
And Chad Frankenfield as well. Fody en route to another 3rd place finish. Will they be able to catch that 19 car? 3 laps to go. That time by as they flash across the stripe.
Hunter Smith really close on Ryan Schul. That's for position as well for 6th.
Ryan doing an excellent job there. He was one of those cars that had pitted the 14. Hunter Smith had not. Battle between rookies there. And how about Matthew Weeks in that 11 car? Had that end of the line penalty. He's been able to work his way up inside the top 10. Not saying enough good things for RC Anderson. He continues to lead this field. perfect job as well. We come across the stripe.
Massey right on back of Shane Therian now. Teammates.
White flag going to be the win here. 1 lap to go at Suzuka. Will everyone be able to make it back? Will some cars run out of fuel? What will the running order be in about 1.5 miles left to the checkered flag? The 40 and the 15, this is a close battle.
Yeah, if I had to pick contact on the last lap, this is right here where I'd pick it.
You're not missing a thing up front. RC Anderson is doing all he can. The 15 and Chad Frankenfield took a look underneath the 40 car. White flag is still waiting for these guys. They have one more circuit to complete, and there's David Tooker, who is very low on fuel. What will happen here?
Oh,
RC
Hunter
Anderson
Smith
has
couldn't
done a
make it.
great job. Hunter Smith, we're hearing, is slow. He's been able to take the checkered flag, so RC Anderson has already completed the final lap, and he wins the Suzuka Grand Prix. Now, how will the things shake up for our championship contenders? Tate Lytle out front in second place. Looks like he will score a podium finish as well. David Tooker needs to try and bring it home with a drop of gas left in the tank. Has to navigate 2 final set of corners through turn 5, through turn 6. He'll do so. Pro Edge Racing, a 2 and a 3. RC Anderson, your winner. And Tyler Foley holds off Chad Frankenfield for a top 5. It's a bump between perhaps one of the greatest road course races we've ever had for the Elite Racing League.
Tooker finished with 0.1 in his fuel gauge.
Wow. I'm impressed. I did not see that coming. I did not think. I thought for sure everybody would have to, make it on one pit stop. I did not even calculate or fathom that anybody would not pit again after that fun caution flag. And, had that yellow flag not come out there, Dave, I don't think we see the strategy play out at all.
No.
Lucas Oil School of Racing is on board, and he definitely took the rest of the field to school. They should be able to take notes. That is one wheelman when it comes to turning left and right. We'll be talking with him here in just a few moments. You'll take a look at the finishing order on your screen. Second win of the season for RC Anderson, and second on a road course. Tate Lytle bringing it home in second. David Tooker in third. Tyler Foley and Chad Frankenfield. Then how about the rookie there, Ryan Slow, doing a great job in that 06 car. Matthew Weeks coming back from an end-of-line penalty on only the second and final yellow flag we had of the night. Chad Thornquist doing the same. Both of those able to rebound to a top 10. Shane, another top 10 as well. Then Nick Massey in that 48 car. Stafe, once again, as you take a look at the rest of our top 20. Let's go ahead and bring our third place driver into the broadcasting chat. That would be David Tooker. David, it took you a moment on the very first lap to find yourself in trouble. How did you put that behind you? And then talk about that strategy just to make it on fuel. Was that even in the cards for you guys when you started this race?
You said it, Alex. Just threw it away on lap 1 of all laps. Lap 1. I went a little too wide in the last turn, and you kind of have to shoot across the curb and shoot out as far as you can to the grass to get a good turn off, to get a straight exit as much as possible. But I just slightly went over too far left and touched the grass of the left rear, and when you do that, there's no saving it. You just lose it. And at that point, I realized, okay, it's early. I can still climb back from this, which, it was a long day in the car. It was a long race for sure. I felt like we definitely had the pace on the long run and getting through the field was quite tricky because the field was just really close tonight. You know, this is one of the easier road courses we have. It's really slow speed, it's consistent, and everybody and on top of no passing zones really, but everybody was really close on pace, so it was kind of tough to get through the field. But like you said, just played some strategy, ended up grabbing third, and couldn't be happier with that. So I will gladly take it.
Well, definitely well earned there, but I want to talk about that strategy there because Dave and I were talking amongst ourselves, had that second yellow flag come out. I don't believe that strategy even comes to life, but when did you guys decide, hey, we're not going to come back down pit road?
I think that became a topic of discussion pretty much right as the caution came out. I think after the fun flag, we were like, okay, we're probably doing another stop, and then obviously we had to clear the track to let everyone race again, and that really is what opened up the door for us. Just trying to save as much as we could, and believe me, I was saving from lap 60 all the way to the lap 90. I pretty much ran out of fuel coming past the start finish line, so I couldn't have made it another lap. But I think Tate was actually the one that made the call on saving fuel all the way to the end. He ended up doing it. He started way earlier than I did, but I had to play a little bit of catch up in the fuel game. But and luckily, in a road course like this, really low speed, you have a lot of time to save fuel, which really helped. I was saving about a lap of fuel every lap, and just had to run that pace throughout the entire race, which honestly was really tough because you got guys like Fody and Chad who pitted for fuel and tires as well, and they happened to be right up on me right at the end. So I'm really happy with third. I'm really glad the strategy worked out for us.
It worked out flawlessly there. Despite not having a flawless race on that first lap, you're able to come away with a very big point day there. With Talladega looming, that's got to feel good. Want to give you a chance to shout out anyone and anything you want on the air.
Yeah, just want to give a huge shout out to Pro Edge Racing. We put a lot of work tonight to finish as well as we did. I think we got, let me see, Tate second, myself third, and Weeks in seventh. So it's a very solid show for us. Clark in 13th, shout out to him. Unfortunately, he had a little incident pretty early in the race, but no, we ran really consistent tonight, really fast. Everybody was up there for speed. I was surprised to see Tate up there, and not to say that he's any less talented or more talented than me. I feel like me and Tate are very close, and he's really stepped it up on the road course game, and it's really cool to see him up here, running up here with the podiums. So like I said, everybody at Pro Edge Racing, everybody at Elite iRacing Series that makes this happen, Chad Frankenfield, Ethan Reasoner, I know I'm going to forget a lot of names, Blue Egg Marketing, C2 Freight, Elite JoinAPS, everybody, all of our partners that help us do what we do and support our dreams out here on the simulator. And also want to thank you, Alex and David, for what you do up in the booth for us. As much as you guys, I imagine you guys would much rather be in the race car, but I love watching these races back, and this is going to be a good one to watch. So appreciate what you guys are doing up here.
All right, that was David Tooker, and you were very much welcome. It was very fun to watch and see you guys coming through the field, especially with that surprising strategy call. David Tooker walking away with a podium once again on a road course. Let's go ahead and bring in our second place driver there, Tate Lytle. He's going to join us, and there he is. Lytle, we hadn't talked very much to you in the regular season, but playoff time, now I get to talk to you back-to-back. Walk us through your race and how you decided not to pit after that fun caution flag.
Well, I think we were going to have to pit regardless if that second caution didn't come out. And that second caution came out, and I was like, this might be close. And I got a really good restart, and I was going to try and lead it for a while. RC was obviously King Tut on pace. I don't know how to explain it, but that's why he drives real race cars, and I'm stuck in Oregon racing on a computer every night. But I figured he was going to have to pit once he got by me, and I was only like 3 laps to the bad, and I was like, this is my only chance if I can just try and save those 3 laps and, see what we can do. If it was 5 laps shorter, we would have been fine, but I I don't know. I thought I was gonna have a little bit better chance. He just had so much pace that it was just gonna be impossible. I figured that at worst, at the pace I was running, just with the gap we had, I was gonna finish second anyway. So I was like, I might as well try it. And I kind of knew with like 20 to go that it was gonna be a far-fetched dream of mine when I saw the pace he was carrying. But at least we made it kind of interesting for you guys. But I just got to thank Days Gone By, Brett Wentz, Vintage Racing Apparel. He's a big supporter of me and the league, and we've always got some pretty cool threads on the car thanks to JD Designs. And got to shout out practicallyhomemade.com, my mom's blog. She's been sponsoring here and there in this and in my golf ventures, so pretty cool that able to support that. And yeah, I mean, P2 to road course. Never really been known as a road course guy, but I feel like I'm kind of coming into my own. Definitely not on Tucker and RC's level quite yet, but I feel like I'm able to compete with the rest of the guys. So cool to come home P2. Good start to the playoffs. Not that we really even needed to show up tonight because we're already locked in, so it was kind of a fun night for us. But still fun to come home second, get a chance to talk to you guys.
Yeah, I like I said when you first came in here, I hadn't talked to you much all season long, and now I'm talking to you 2 weeks in a row during playoff time, and that just seems to be when you shine, obviously, as our reigning champion. Talladega is looming. It's coming, and I understand that, you being locked in here, you have a couple other competitors that'll be joining you in that safe zone there. Tyler Fody has been able to lock himself in as well. But the strategy call, especially with your win last week at Rockingham, did that make it even more so that you were able to play the strategy kind of on, the attack, not so much play it safe there as far as going ahead and bidding because of that win? Does that just open your whole entire world to a new strategy that you just wouldn't think of had you not been safe tonight?
I probably would have done it anyway, just because by the time RC had pitted, I had already saved enough to be even. And so I just had to run that pace. And I was hoping that running that pace would be enough. He didn't really fall off near as much as I thought he would, though. But that's, like I said, that's why he's a professional. He's pretty darn good, and looking forward to seeing him in a Pro Edge Toyota next season. He can come have some fun with us over there. We get decent results. I know you just talked to Tucker, too. We get pretty good results, but I can tell you we probably have the most fun out of everybody in this league. So always a good time in the Pro Edge chat. Looking forward to having RC on board next year.
Well, it definitely seems to be fun in the Pro Edge chat and fun on the racetrack watching you guys as well. So congratulations there, Type.
Thank you.
Sorry. And we'll see you next week with Talladega in the front windshield coming up. Let's go ahead and bring up our last but certainly not least at all.
We also do have the updated points on the screen, too. Dad, you got those updated, so I pulled those over.
All right, there he is, the man of the hour, the man every time we go to a road course there, and the man who's now won his second race of the season there, R.C. Anderson. Man, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what you have in that car that makes you so fast versus everybody else, because it's in a different league. I said, I think on like lap 45 or so, that we need to take that car, the virtual car of yours, to the real R&D center and figure out what's in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's strange. I mean, with this next gen car, I feel like I haven't had that insane advantage on a road course like I've felt before, especially like what I feel like in the Xfinity car. I mean, when you look back at Road America, I mean, Chad was like dead on equal pace, especially after about lap 2 on tires. So I was able to extract that pole lap, but he was able to keep up on all the pace. And then we came here, and I felt like I was back into that whole mode where I just couldn't lose time. So I don't really know. I think it just depends on the track. The S section, that whole entire twisty, windy bits, it takes a lot of footwork. You're just playing with the pedals a lot, and I don't know. I guess it's just whoever can tap dance better.
Well, you definitely seem to be the best at it. I wanted to ask you what happened on lap 1. We noticed that you were on the outside pole setter, you and David Tucker. That's nothing unheard of, but we didn't see you there once the green flag flew. So what happened there?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I got my banner updated. I think I'm 2 months out of date. I think I'm actually 2 months out of date, which is not great. I mean, I thought Shane had me updated and everything with my trading paints with the new banner, and when everything loaded in, I guess it was still the old banner, so I had to start from the rear. So I'll get that sorted, but I did definitely just made tonight a little bit more stressful. But I was thankful to make it up to the front without any damage at all.
Well, there you have it, folks. That was dang. So not only did we have you winning the race, but you started in the rear because of a banner issue. We did not know that. We had noticed, I think, by lap 15, you had already been up to like 15th place, so we did not catch that at the start of the broadcast, but that explains it. Why you, and then Tucker, who had a mistake on lap 1 as well, were free falling early in this one. The decision to pit obviously was the right one because it got you into pit road, but were you a little nervous when everybody decided to stay out there?
Yeah, I was actually a little worried. I mean, I saw Tate was staying out. I saw Fody pitted. That was my first trigger to where like, okay, I need to pit because I saw the pit window was like, you only need to save 5 laps of fuel, and there's a lot of laps, so it's a pretty short lap. Like 5 laps isn't crazy, but I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to chance it or not. So I just went ahead and pushed as hard as I could. I knew I had a pretty big gap, so pitting wouldn't affect me too much. I think I only fell back to about fifth after pitting, so I just knew I really had to work that pace back down, make sure I was smart through lap traffic. And then Tate gave me one heck of a run. He kept parking it on every apex on me, so where he would never leave the apex. I couldn't get around the outside, and then I kept running into the back of him because he kept parking it, and we had a pretty good battle. And I just ended up getting the over under, and he raced me really clean, which was awesome. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it did look like exactly what you described there. We were having fun watching you guys battle it out there. He was holding you off on those older tires there, but with a track so short and so slow like this, it really was incredible to see you guys battle, considering the tire difference that you guys did have in the closing laps of this one. Want to give you a chance to shout out anyone and anything you'd like there as tonight's winner there. Second time this season. Your great job.
Yeah, no, I'm just White Lightning Racing, and you guys up here in the booth, and Chad for running these races. I say it every time, but I love doing these, and I even love watching going back and going through the replays and seeing these awesome racing. These guys are awesome. They all respect each other a lot, give each other a lot of room, and it's when you watch it on YouTube, watch these broadcasts, it looks like the real thing. And I just enjoy these a lot, so I'm going to keep coming back for as long as they're here. Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you in a Pro Edge racing car as well.
Yeah, that'll be new.
That should be very, very much fun. But RC Anderson there, your winner at Suzuka tonight. All right, Dave. Well, with that in the rearview mirror, we turn our attention to the biggest track in the States, and that will be Talladega Superspeedway, where anything, and I do mean anything, can happen. I don't even know who to pick, what we should look for. I just know it's going to be chaos here in 1 week's time.
Yeah, I think there'll be a few guys that you would think don't have anything to race for because they're locked in, but they're just not that kind of guy. They're going to go for it whether they're in it or not.
Yeah, we saw that Tate Lyle had that option, and we saw him finish second. He was doing everything he can. A win is still very much on the line. We'll see these guys fight it out on the high banks of Talladega Superspeedway. Always an exciting one here. Don't want to miss it. 8:30 Eastern Standard Time next Wednesday. That'll be May 23rd. But from all of us here for the Elite Racing Network, want to thank our partners there, C2 Freights there, Blue Egg Marketing, Powerhouse Recycling, everybody that does a job for the Elite Racing broadcast there, Chad, our league owner, and then, of course, you there, Dave, doing a great job providing us and producing our graphics here tonight. But yeah, tonight was great, and tonight belongs to RC Anderson. He did a great job. We'll try and shake him down for more information and figure out how exactly he is so good at these road courses, but that will have to come at another time because we are out of time here tonight. We will see you guys next week. Don't miss out. We see you guys at Talladega at 8:30